Have you ever found yourself stuck in an endless loop of, "I'll do it tomorrow"? It's comforting, isn't it? The idea that there's always more time, that the perfect moment is just around the corner. But here's the hard truth. Laziness is a thief, quietly stealing your dreams while you're too busy scrolling or second-guessing. What if I told you that breaking free from this cycle doesn't require superhuman effort, just a shift in perspective? Yes, you can break the chains of procrastination and hesitation, starting today. It might sound counterintuitive, but laziness isn't always about a lack of motivation. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's overwhelm, and sometimes it's simply not knowing where to begin. But here's the kicker. Those who conquer laziness don't wait for motivation to strike. They create it through action. In this journey, I'll guide you through reflections and strategies that not only challenge your excuses, but ignite a spark of action in even the most reluctant hearts. Intrigued? You should be, because here's the deal. The life you're dreaming of, the one filled with purpose, success, and fulfillment, isn't waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to act. And if you think this is just another pep talk, think again. What I'm about to share could change everything you thought you knew about overcoming laziness. Are you ready to challenge your limits and unlock the potential you've been sitting on? Let's dive in. Once upon a time, there was a sparrow named Aurora who lived on the edge of a vast farmland. Amid the rustling leaves and the farmer's relentless routine, she taught her chicks a lesson many overlook: wisdom. "Not every threat is what it seems," she often said. One morning, as the farmer sharpened his tools, one of the chicks, wide-eyed with fear, chirped, "He's going to destroy our nest." Aurora, calm as ever, replied, "Let's observe first. He might just be preparing for the harvest." Isn't it fascinating how such simple words can carry profound wisdom? Knowing when to act is an art many have yet to master. In the following days, the farmer grew busier than ever, muttering about pests and wind as he worked. One of the braver chicks asked, "Mother, isn't it time we flew away?" Aurora, with a steady gaze, responded, "Not yet. He's preoccupied with the harvest for now. But tomorrow, watch what he does." The next morning, the farmer began cutting down stalks dangerously close to the nest. That's when Aurora decided, now it's time to act. She led her chicks in a coordinated flight to a new home, safe and welcoming. Isn't it remarkable how a single, well-timed decision can change everything? This story teaches us something profound. Trust and wisdom must go hand in hand. Aurora didn't just trust her instincts. She also knew when to turn trust into action. It's a lesson we can apply every day. Sometimes we delay decisions out of fear of moving too soon, while at other times we trust blindly in the unknown. So, the next time a false farmer shows up in your life, ask yourself, is this a threat or just another day of harvest? Well, that's a thought for another time, isn't it? Procrastination is like a sparrow waiting for the farmer to fix the entire field before deciding to build its nest. It's comforting to assume someone else will handle the hard parts, isn't it? But life doesn't wait for perfection, and neither should you. Take the farmer in our story. If Aurora had waited for him to stop cutting the crops before moving, she and her chicks would have been in danger. Similarly, we often delay taking action, hoping the perfect time will come. Spoiler alert, it rarely does. If you've been putting off a task, ask yourself, what small step can I take today? The truth is, relying too much on others can make us passive, even in critical moments. Imagine if Aurora had expected another bird to warn her about the farmer. Ridiculous, right? Yet, how many times do we wait for someone else to step in or give us permission to act? If you've made it this far, comment, "I can do it," whether it's sending that overdue email, starting a fitness routine, or finally tackling that side project. Remember this. The longer you wait, the heavier the burden becomes. Start small if you must, but start. For instance, if it's a side hustle, brainstorm for 10 minutes today. It's often less intimidating than it seems. Procrastination feeds on the fear of failure, but here's the secret. Action creates momentum, and momentum beats fear. Aurora didn't have time to second guess. She knew the farmer wouldn't pause for her convenience. Life is the same. Waiting for the perfect conditions is like waiting for the wind to blow just right before you fly. It's pointless. Trust that even imperfect actions can lead to meaningful outcomes. And if you're hesitating, just remember, your nest isn't going to build itself, is it? Well, speaking of fear, let's address that next. Fear can be a cunning trickster, much like the farmer's shadow creeping over the sparrow's nest. It whispers doubt where none should exist and magnifies threats that often hold no real danger. Take Aurora, for instance. She knew the farmer's actions seemed menacing, but she also understood the difference between a genuine threat and a harmless routine. Many of us, however, let fear freeze us in place. We avoid risks, delay decisions, or convince ourselves the worst will happen. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, is this fear protecting me, or is it holding me hostage? Now, don't get me wrong, fear has its place. It's what keeps the sparrow alert when predators are near. But when fear governs every move, it becomes the enemy of trust and wisdom. Picture a farmer afraid to plant seeds, fearing the rains won't come. Without action, there's no harvest, just an empty field. Similarly, if you fear failure so much that you never try, you rob yourself of growth. Start small. Confront a fear that has lingered too long. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting or pursuing a long-held dream. Trust yourself even if your voice shakes at first. Here's the thing about fear. It thrives in the absence of action. Aurora didn't let the looming figure of the farmer keep her grounded. She watched, assessed, and acted only when it was necessary. Fear doesn't disappear overnight, but every step forward diminishes its power. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to prove my fear wrong? And as you take that step, you'll find the courage for the next one. Speaking of courage, it's time to dive into those bold decisions that define us. Courage isn't always the roaring bravery of a lion. Sometimes, it's the quiet resolve of a sparrow leaving behind the only home it's ever known. When Aurora decided to abandon her nest, she wasn't fearless. She was determined. That's the essence of courage. Making the tough call despite the fear. Think about the choices you've been avoiding. Maybe it's leaving a job that drains you or ending a toxic relationship. It's not easy, but like Aurora, you know when the time has come to act. The question is, will you? Life is full of crossroads where the familiar feels safer than the unknown. But sticking to your comfort zone often means missing out on growth. Aurora could have stayed, clinging to the hope that the farmer might leave her nest alone. But hope without action is just wishful thinking. You have to take that leap, even if your wings feel unsteady. Start small. Make a list of the decisions you've been avoiding, then pick one and take the first step. Could be as simple as having a difficult conversation or signing up for that course you've been eyeing. Difficult decisions are the stepping stones to a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Each one builds resilience, shaping you into someone who can weather future storms. Remember, Aurora didn't just save herself. She ensured the survival of her family. Your choices have ripple effects too, inspiring others to find their own courage. So, what's your nest? And what's holding you back from leaving it? Let's explore how resilience and trust can guide us through these challenges. Resilience is like the sparrow's wings, tested by winds, yet unyielding in their flight. Aurora's journey wasn't just about survival. It was a testament to the balance between trust and caution, action and patience. Life throws its storms, and like the sparrow, you must learn to navigate them without losing sight of your purpose. Think about it. How often do we get trapped in hesitation, doubting whether we can withstand the challenges ahead? But resilience isn't about being unshaken. It's about rising after every stumble, just as Aurora led her family to safety. Balancing trust and caution is no easy feat. Too much trust, and you risk being naive. Too much caution, and you may never act. Aurora didn't trust blindly. She observed, calculated, and acted. Similarly, trust yourself to take bold steps, but remain grounded in wisdom. If you're pursuing a dream, trust the process, but prepare for setbacks. Take small actions every day, whether it's building skills, networking, or just reminding yourself why you started. Resilience is built through consistency, not perfection. Every challenge is a chance to grow, And every moment of doubt is an opportunity to choose courage over fear. Aurora's story reminds us that even the smallest creatures can teach profound lessons. Your journey is no different. The winds may be strong, and the threats may seem overwhelming, but remember, you are capable of more than you think. So, how will you use this wisdom to face your next challenge? Let's not stop here. There's so much more to discover about unlocking your potential. So here we are. You've just uncovered powerful lessons on overcoming laziness, confronting fear, and stepping boldly into action. But the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it linger, another idea tucked away for later? Or will you make today the day you finally take control? Think about it. What's one small action you can take right now to push past procrastination? Maybe it's setting that alarm 15 minutes earlier, sending that email you've been avoiding, or simply committing to one small task. What will it be? Remember, change doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing. Every great story begins with a single step, and yours is no different. Don't let fear of imperfection or failure hold you back. Instead, ask yourself, if not now, when? And if not you, who? The answers will always point back to the same truth. It's up to you to build the life you deserve. And trust me, you're more than capable. The sparrow doesn't wait for the wind to be perfect. It flies regardless. What's stopping you from doing the same? If this journey has inspired you, there's so much more to learn and explore. Don't let this be the end of your growth. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and join a community of doers who are transforming their lives one step at a time. So, what's your next move? Let's hear it in the comments below. And let's build something extraordinary together.